Are you guys waiting for what I'm obsessed with? I am obsessed with the new Taylor Swift album, Folklore. It's so good. I've been listening to it on repeat constantly. When it came out at midnight, I think, what's today? Wednesday? So it came out at Wednesday, maybe it was Tuesday night at midnight or Wednesday. Anyways, it came out last week, and my best friend and I, it was her idea. It was beautiful. So we listened to it together. So I had like my little headphones on my ear, and then I had my Beats headphones to my computer listening to the music. So I was like on FaceTime with her, and we were like reacting to the songs and the music videos together. It was so fun. And then ever since then, it's just beautiful. Like, I feel like Taylor Swift could kill any genre ever. It just transfers so beautiful. Like, I never ever would have expected to like an alternative, folk, however you want to describe it, album. Like, I never would have expected to like that. But when Taylor Swift does it, it's beautiful. So I want to hear what you guys are. Comment in the chat what your favorite, or if you're watching this after, comment below what your favorite songs are from the album. Hi, Vince. The legend is here. Hi, me. Hi, Jocelyn. I haven't seen you before. Have you been in live stream before? I don't recognize your username. Hi, Alexander. Hi, Keith. Your top. Thank you so much. So I actually have a story about this top. So I was visiting my best friend in DC, and she was staying at a dorm for like a summer internship for her law school. And this shirt, I've been traveling, so it was really wrinkled. And she had an iron there that came as part of her dorm room. So I was like, I should iron this, but it was so hot. And so it burned a hole in the back of this shirt. So I can never wear it out. I can only wear it like in live streams and in YouTube videos when you can't see the back of me. So yeah, I love this shirt though. I was so mad that I ruined it, but I'm on camera all the time. So, and I think I can do photo shoots in it too. I haven't done that. So have you heard about the Exodus effect? No, what is the Exodus effect? I might have heard of it, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't listen to music. Exile is my favorite. Okay, yes. Exile is so good. Exile and Illicit Affairs are tied for me as #1. Well, when I first heard Exile, I was like, this is about cheating. It's horrible. I don't want to listen to it. I refuse. I hate songs about cheating. But then I realized it doesn't necessarily have to be about a love triangle. It could be about a breakup that's going on where she's with someone else. So that's how I interpret it, because like, absolutely not. I hate cheating. Unacceptable. Horrible. Horrific. I hate how cheating is just played up as normal in music and TV shows and movies and everything, like all the media. So yeah, but Exile is beautiful. I love the part at the end where, I know if you guys are not Swifties, you're probably like, what are you talking about? I don't care. But at the very end, you guys have to listen to Exile. It's with this other artist, Bon Iver or something. Never heard of him before because I don't know anything. But anyways, they have this like duet together at the end, and she's like, I gave so many signs, and he's like, I never learned to read your mind. I gave you so many signs, and they're like going back and forth. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. I don't believe in music. I wait till marriage. Okay. That's demonic to not listen to music, you guys. That's what demonic is. How are you doing today? Caitlin asks. I've been doing really good. I've been editing videos. My next 2 videos are going to be reaction videos. So one of them is reacting to old bipolar videos, and the other one is reacting to Instagram posts. So it's going to be a lot of reactions because, okay, so 2 years ago, well, Julius, thank you so much for the donation. Thank you for supporting my channel. So a couple of years ago, I did a video reacting to my old like theology videos leading up to when I became Catholic. And it was kind of like through the years, I didn't realize that I was having Catholic leanings. And so I watched that, I like reacted to videos. But the video with the bipolar is like my bipolar symptoms coming out before I knew I was bipolar, like in videos being hypomanic, or like talking about when I first had depression, and like my reactions to it in the moment, and then reacting to it now. And there's a lot of problematic stuff in the video. Like, I was promoting going off meds at one point, and I was saying like, oh, this depression symptom is amazing. Like, just really like crooked, evil. Okay, I don't want to call myself evil, but I think if you're encouraging people to go off meds, that's pretty bad. So maybe I should take that video down. I'm not sure. But he says that anointed oil is the secret to something. Caitlin hasn't listened to the whole album? Huh. Okay. I've only listened to Cardigan, Exile, and Mad Woman. I'm saving the rest for a couple more weeks. That's just the way I listen to albums. Okay. Bert says, I agree with Lizzie and Trevor. I do not like cheating, but there's songs with good beats. But for something good, look up Having Daydreams About Night. I don't understand that comment. I'm going to delete it because it seems like it might be problematic. Okay. The book gives you all sorts of ideas on how to use the oil. Interesting. I like Mirrorball and Betty too. I like Betty, the sound of it, but I don't like the lyrics. I don't think it's very depth. I don't really, yeah. Lizzie's answers, I sent you a super chat yesterday and you did not acknowledge it. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't see it. Why don't you comment right now? Just don't comment in a super chat. I'll just look for your comment. Invisible String is a good song. That one's actually about Joe. And oh my goodness, guys. So I was reading something and it said that, so her, number one, my best friend, who's like a huge Taylor Swift fan, thinks that Taylor Swift is married right now, but hasn't announced it because there was a clip that came out where her like fiance, boyfriend, husband, whatever, brother called her sister. And he co-wrote some of the songs because there's a songwriter on some of the songs, like a co-songwriter, who doesn't exist. Like you Google this person, nothing. And then it turns out that name, the first part of the name is where she met Joe, and the second part is like Joe's grandfather's name. So he co-wrote on some of the songs. Isn't that so cool? So yeah, what other like little things have you guys heard about the album that have come out? I've been reading so much. It's so, I think of all her albums, this is the one that's I've been putting the most like effort and depth into trying to understand all the lyrics. I feel like compared to other albums, it's really difficult to understand the meanings at first because there's so many like layers and layers and layers, and it's from like all different perspectives. So I think it's so fun, like listening through and trying to understand it, and then listening to other people analyzing the lyrics. So you talk fast once you reach Ben Shapiro level? Okay, you're comparing me to Ben Shapiro? What? He does talk really fast. He's kind of iconic though. So Jeremiah says, I love that Taylor threw out such a bold paradigm shift album at such a perfect time. One that's about the bland sadness of loss and loneliness. For my favorite songs are The One and Illicit Affairs. Illicit Affairs, okay. The part at the end of Illicit Affairs is so beautiful. It makes me think of Trevor. So it says, you showed me colors I haven't seen. Wait, I wrote down. I'm doing an Instagram caption with this soon. Okay, let's see. I literally have a note on my phone of Instagram captions that I come up with because I'm really bad at Instagram, so I'm trying to improve. So I'm like doing stuff in advance. Okay, here it is. You showed me colors I can't see with anyone else. You taught me a secret language I can't speak with anyone else. And for you, I would ruin myself a million little times. So you would like sacrifice your life, sacrifice your dreams, sacrifice everything for the person you love. So I would ruin myself a million little times. I thought it's so beautiful, the lyrics. Hi, Fatima. How are you? I remember in your old videos, you used to talk so fast. Yeah. So I'm trying to find like in the bipolar video, some of the video clips that I'm including of like old bipolar content are just videos where I'm talking fast. And one of them, I actually literally edited it and slowed it down. Editing this was so fast, like part of the video. So yes, it was definitely like not full out mania, but definitely some mania going on. Okay, so someone said I didn't answer their super chat. I don't know if I see it from before. What is the person's name? Can you just keep commenting it like multiple times? What do you think about Steven Crowder? I don't have any thoughts. Mood on the trying to chat less fast. I have the same issue. Well, what I did is going on medication really solved the issue for me completely. Like I don't talk as fast anymore. Someone actually complained. This was like an icon for me. Someone said I was talking too slow in a video, and I was, yes, like I've completely solved this problem and don't talk as fast anymore. You're making me want to listen to the rest of the album. Yes, listen to the rest of the album. Oh, so good. I think she intentionally puts it like in the order that it's in to listen to together. That's why when some music comes out, I don't like it when the singles come out first, because I think you should listen to like the entire album as a whole rather than like listening to one single and then, so that's how I feel. I'm so happy because Mexico is pro-life. Oh, I'm so happy. That's beautiful. LaCroix. Yeah, I'm drinking LaCroix. I'm philosophically opposed to soda. So my old roommates, they started trying to drink soda, and I like made a rule where I banned it from the house because I was like, absolutely not. We're not becoming a soda family. So I'm like very strong that soda is horrible because people get addicted to it. You're drinking calories. And then the diet sodas, they have chemicals in it that haven't existed for long enough for us to know the health benefits. So they could have really disastrous health benefits and we wouldn't even know. I watch pretty much all your vids at 2 times. Yeah, I think Lizzie talks normal. Google account, you're a soda family? That's so disappointing. Always. Wow. Do you like watermelon? Yes. I went through a watermelon phase like a month ago where I got it like 3 times in a row at Trader Joe's. And then I was like, I'm kind of sick of it. So now I'm doing peaches from Trader Joe's. So what are your guys' favorite fruits for the summer? Comment in the chat. I'm just worried I'm going to get obsessed with the album too fast, and so I'm trying to make it last longer. What do you think of Bishop Barron coming out with videos the past few weeks about Vatican II and traditionalism? So I didn't watch the full videos, so just like disclaimer. But I heard part of one video, and he basically said, like, in the part I found it problematic, that it's weird that I've been like saying negative things about Bishop Barron lately. Like, I love Bishop Barron, but obviously we disagree on some things, which is fine. But he said if you don't know Latin, then it's less meaningful to Latin masses. And I kind of disagree with that a little bit, because I think it's like the essence of it and like the mysticism being within like trance like Latin mass. And I think that like historically you haven't throughout church history, like hundreds of years ago, the lay people were like paying attention to every little prayer said in the liturgy. Like, they were going off and praying on their own and like doing whatever during mass. And so I think like you don't have to understand every single word in Latin to make sense of the beauty of Latin mass. Does that make sense? So obviously I didn't watch that in context at all, but I watched the other videos. And so Jesus is God. Jesus is fully God. And in Matthew, I believe it's in Matthew 12. Let's see if it's in Matthew 12. Jesus talks about marriage, and he basically gets rid of divorce unless... Oh, Matthew 19. Sorry about that. Not Matthew 12. Matthew 19. So, sorry, Bible Gateway recently changed, so I have to like go back to the classic site every time. It's horrible the way they did the graphic design and stuff. Okay. So they said, why did the law of Moses allow a man to divorce his wife if he put it down in writing and gave it to her? Jesus said, because of your hard hearts, Moses allowed you to divorce your wives. It was not like that from the beginning. And say I to you, whoever divorces his wife except for sexual sin, except for adultery, and marries another is guilty of adultery in marriage. Whoever marries her that is divorced is guilty of adultery in marriage. His followers said to him, if that is the way of a man with his wife, it is better not to be married. But Jesus said to them, not all men are able to do this, but only those who can be married to, because marriage is permanent. Hi from Brazil. Hi, R. Vireal. How are you? I'm your new subscriber from PH, which is either Philadelphia or the Philippines. I'm a Catholic by birth, and your channel really helps me to understand more about our religion. I talk about book recommendations. I basically gave like my top 20 theology books that I recommend people to read. Uh-oh, the connection is unstable. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm putting my video in the chat. Also, you guys, I have an Amazon shop. So literally Google Lizzie's Answers Amazon shop. And I have book recommendations. I have philosophy, theology, bipolar section of like products I use in my everyday life, and a ton of books that I recommend to read as well. Can you clarify something for me about your veiling video? Was the mandate for veiling that Paul asked for always understood and meant for Mass? Some believe that it is meant whenever we. So throughout church history, it has applied to Mass specifically, but at the time, we don't know 100%. So it was talking about when women pray publicly during the church service. That was the context of it. Maybe in the first century they did every time they pray, but in the verse it seems like really objectively to be talking about just in the church. But I don't know 100%, but that seems to be the context. It's not weird to disagree with His Excellency Bishop Barron. I believe in a literal Saint Adam, not sure that shall not nuts. Yeah, I guess it is okay to disagree with each other. I just like almost put Bishop Barron on a pedestal because I love him so much, but I shouldn't because he's just a fallible human. Thank you, Esmeralda. Says, you're welcome. I'm with Google account as well. Bishop Barron, actually, I feel like I want to collab with Bishop Barron because Google account mentions this all the time, how Bishop Barron doesn't believe in a literal Adam, but he does. Like you have to believe in a literal, like first two parents. You don't have to believe like all the details of the story, like a talking snake and like an apple. You don't have to believe like those specific things. Like you can say like part of it is allegory, but you have to believe that there were two first humans or you're a heretic. So I don't. What is your favorite song from Folklore? Yeah, my favorite song is Illicit Affairs. Look at this, something taught me I can't speak with anyone else, and you know for you I would ruin myself a million little times. Folklore is the best. I think I know how to reconcile Adam and Eve with evolution. Perhaps cavemen didn't have sons and as such were not humans. Interesting. Yeah, so obviously the reason the whole debate about the literal Adam and Eve is because as Catholics we're encouraged to believe in evolution. So I'm sure Bishop Barron believes in evolution. So yeah, that's part of it. Interesting. Jackal says, I don't think that's true, Lizzie. I heard Jimmy Akin explain recently that the Adam and Eve representing groups of people is still viable, and he cites Pope Benedict. I would like to see that exact quote because I've actually talked about this with so many priests. Obviously, they could be wrong. They could be spreading heresy. But I have talked specifically like in understanding original sin. That's why I brought up those conversations so much. So I don't know. Definitely DM me if you find the Pope Benedict statement. I'm super interested in that. Do you practice centering prayer? That sounds like meditation. And actually, one of my best friends has tried to get me into meditation. We haven't talked yet about it, but he's trying to like, basically he does a lot of meditation because he has a chronic illness. And so it helps him like understand the pain and make sense of it and be able to get through and don't do any like medication. Obviously I take medication. Catholic Answers is super against centering prayers for some reason. I don't get why. Interesting. Allowed to disagree without hierarchy. We have to remember that everyone, laity, clergy, and monastics, have the responsibility to keep each other online. Absolutely. DNA studies show all men and women come from just two people. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's what I've heard before as well, so I don't really understand if that's a story with evolution, if the scientists have discovered that. Completely not viable, Lizzie. It's magisterial. That original sin is by propagation, not by imitation. What did I say? Couldn't be a group of people. Yeah, I don't think it was a group of people when it comes to original. It's two first parents, absolutely. The legend has returned. In prophecy, the Bible says Jesus could meditate upon the law. I think it's in the Psalms. That's interesting. Okay, so like I meditate technically when I read my Bible. So like I get a verse and I think about it and I apply it to my life. What's it saying about God? What is it saying about the old covenant's connection to the new covenant? Like all of these things that I analyze when I read my Bible. So yeah, I just feel like I do meditate. If you like, it depends on how everyone's like defining centering prayer and defining meditation. But I feel everything else in my life. So pretty much Lectio Divina. Yeah, is Lectio Divina meditation? Because if that is, then I do that type of prayer and everything all the time. There's actually a company that reached out to me that wants to partner together. So maybe I should work with them and figure out. It would be so interesting. Meditation is just like a type of focus. Interesting. I went to Adoration for the first time ever tonight. Oh, and it was cool. I still don't understand everything yet because I've only been Catholic for a year. So adoration, sometimes there's like adoration times, and there's like psalms that you read together and you sing and you pray, and then there's time for like 30 minutes where you do adoration and then you end in prayer. So sometimes there's like a mass type thing, but not a mass with adoration. Other times churches are just open during the day and you can go hang out with Jesus. So in prayer. So sometimes there's like a mass type thing, but not a mass with adoration. Other times churches are just open during the day and you can go hang out with Jesus. So when I do it, I'll like start in prayer. A lot of times I'll bring a theology book or my Bible and be reading or praying the rosary. So you can literally do whatever you want as long as it's like a Christian activity and a holy and like devout thing going on. A lot of people also use their phones for like meditation apps or reading your Bible on your phone. So I know for me, sometimes I'm like reading from New Advent, or which is like a Catholic encyclopedia. So don't be afraid to use your phone or headphones. I don't know, are headphones okay in adoration? I feel like they should be. Do Catholics believe in sinless perfection? We believe that Mary was sinless, the Virgin Mary. What's Lectio Divina? Just Google Lectio Divina and it will come up. You should work with that company. It sounds so interesting. Okay. They want to do a phone call, which is really intense because usually when I connect with brands, it's just like, what's your price for a video integration? And I tell them my price and then we go about it. It's not like phone call. So yeah, I should reach out to them. Lizzie, could you do a video on the Beatitudes? I was recently organizing my computer today and I took all the video requests and put them in one folder. So I have them in a folder, you guys. I miss adoration. One of the things I miss most from being Catholic, I had many positive experiences with adoration. Yeah, it's really sad with COVID. Google account says, I use headphones at adoration, Lizzie. Do you listen to like Gregorian chants or something? So yeah. Whoever was talking about adoration, listen to music as well. Or you can listen to the Bible. Yeah, so I have used headphones at adoration before when I was doing the, okay, guys, you know this if you watch I prayed the rosary every day for a month video, but I take a long time when I pray the rosary. So one time I was in a Catholic church and I was like listening on my audio Bible to the passages in Luke for each joyful mystery, talking about like the birth of Jesus and everything. So I would like listen to it, the Bible on my headphones. So I think it's really important in adoration to not judge other people, because if you see someone on their phone, that doesn't mean that they're texting someone or not focused. Maybe I should make a video on this. That's actually a really good topic, what to do it. Oh my goodness, guys. I have a list of videos and they're like 43 options of videos to make. I just am like not excited about a lot of them, but Blessed are those who watch Lizzie's live streams, for they shall inherit the kingdom of heaven. I hope so. I hope I'm pushing you guys towards heaven. Real presence of God is there. There are many ways to adore. I should listen to music when I go to adoration. Yep. Do you like to drink Starbucks? So I feel like, I don't know if it's because I went vegan or not, but my sugar receptors really, really changed once I graduated college. So in college, I was eating out more, eating the cafeteria for sure. And I wasn't eating as healthy as I do now. So because I eat so healthy and don't eat processed food, I know this is a really roundabout answer, but because I don't eat processed food, things that are supposed to be sweet are like way too sweet, because within a week, you can reset your sugar receptors and salt receptors to get to the point where like an apple is like so sweet and amazing. So basically, I used to really like iced caramel latte or like white macchiato type drinks at Starbucks. Now they're so sweet. And Starbucks coffee on its own, I think, is disgusting. It's so much coffee. It's like it's really bitter. I think it needs to be diluted with water or something. It's just like too heavy. Does that make sense? The way the coffee is made. So I really just don't like Starbucks coffee at all. 43 video topics is a way better situation than having 0 ideas. I know. Starbucks supports abortion. Honestly, everyone supports abortion. Not everyone, but a lot of like CEOs and corporations and everything. So it would be like impossible to go through life by not supporting some organizations that fund Planned Parenthood and are pro-choice. Unfortunately, it's becoming such a thing in our culture. Lucas says, new Roman Catholic here, feeling alone because most of my friends are Protestant or non-Christian. My wife and I are thankful to have a few close friends, but it's a bit overwhelming. Any tips? So right now, you really can't do anything because COVID's going on. But in 2022, once COVID's over, I'm serious about this. I feel like it's not going to be over until 2022. It's horrible. But in 2022, I recommend joining a Bible study at your church or like a young adult group or going to RCIA again. That's what I do. I continually go to RCIA and making friends. So get involved in your church and then you'll meet new Catholics. And you can join like Knights of Columbus is at a light. It's like a Catholic fraternity and you do like service projects and stuff together. So you could join that for sure. Bishop Barron is lovely. He's an eloquent and true gentleman. Absolutely. I can't ingest Starbucks coffee. Get a blonde roast, much better coffee. Interesting. Alexander says, Lizzie, I have located the Garden of Eden. A fair critique, their coffee is pretty harsh. However, somehow I love Starbucks. I love their sugary syrup. I have 5-year-old taste buds. Yeah, that's the thing. So Starbucks is only good when you get a ton of sweetener in it to cover up the bitter part of the coffee. So what I do is I make my own coffee at home with oat milk and maple syrup. I sweeten it with maple syrup and it's so good. Lizzie lives in the Garden of Eden? What? Google account says, I drink Dunkin' Donuts because of the Planned Parenthood Starbucks thing. Wow. Well, the fact that Dunkin' Donuts doesn't support Planned Parenthood makes me want to go there more. I like Dunkin' Donuts way more than Starbucks. The only thing is it's nice to study in Starbucks sometimes. But I really like that you found a way to not support them. Mimi says, hi, Lizzie. Have you listened to Taylor Swift's new album? Yes. At the very beginning of the chat, we talked about it for like 5 minutes. What are your favorite songs from it? My favorite songs are Illicit Affairs. And why are you skipping my question? Well, I didn't see your question. Maybe if you commented your question with that many emojis, then I would definitely see your question. Goat milk? Oat milk! Oat milk! Oat milk! I'm you guys. I'm sorry if I said goat milk. I didn't know that they supported Planned Parenthood. Kurt says 7 cardigan, the one in order. No joke, there's actually a town in Turkey called Batman. Look it up, Google. I can't believe YouTube blocked this comment. Like, why? The thing that I do like about Methodists is they seem very loving in their manner. The problem is they lean too much towards LGBT and pro-choice. Yeah, Methodists are becoming really, really, really liberal. I love cashew milk. I haven't had it in a long time. Maybe I feel like Trader Joe's oat milk is just the best vegan milk, hands down, though. Have you seen the movie For Greater Glory? No, I have not. I do love donuts. I should try to make donuts, you guys. I feel like I'm the only one who hasn't been baking bread during quarantine. Is that weird? Because everyone else has gone through their bread phase, but I really haven't gone through the bread phase at all. One of your crucifixes looks exactly like the one I have. Oh, I'm so glad that you have them too. Never heard of cashew milk before. Yeah, they have it at almost every grocery store, so definitely check it out. The Garden of Eden is in Turkey, multiple people are saying. Batman was what the Ottomans needed? I don't understand. What do you think about the dispensation from Mass? So I think that everyone should be really passionate about making it to Mass, but I think since a lot of people are over the age of 60 or have pre-existing conditions, it's really important to not say like you have to come to Mass, because it could be life-threatening for a lot of people, especially since they're giving out the Eucharist. So everyone has to take their mask off when they're receiving the Eucharist. I will not receive the Eucharist until the whole coronavirus pandemic is over. Because me personally, I don't think all like breathing around the same air. So yeah, that's my personal opinion on the issue. I wouldn't want to go as far as to say that we shouldn't be giving out communion at all. Obviously, that's the bishops to decide. But for me, I'm not for that. So obviously, people who have pre-existing conditions and are really, really sick already and really old who could easily die, I think it's fair to say, like, just watch the live stream at home. And I think that's really important, too, when there is a Mass dispensation. It's not like, oh, don't do Catholicism for the week. It's like, spend that time watching a live stream. Spend that time in prayer. Don't just not do anything on Sunday. Caitlin says, I've learned how to make really good coffee, and I like making coffee at home better than a lot of coffee shops. I feel the same about like so much coffee, so much food, everything. My favorite songs from Folklore are The Last Great American Dynasty, Mad Woman, August, and Betty. Oh, I like how you have 4. It's true, Lizzie, the Bible clearly says the Eden is in the mountains of Turkey. My church is doing divine liturgy outside. That's really smart because it's hard for it to spread outside. Although literally everything we hear about coronavirus, then a couple months later, they're like, never mind, that's not true. Because at first they were saying like, it can sit in the air for 3 hours. And now it's like, it can sit in the air for a few minutes. And then they were like, it spreads really easily by touching counters. And then they're like, no, it doesn't. So I'm so confused. I feel like the experts have no idea what's going on, which is why it's taking so long. But the good thing is that they're doing the trials like so much right now. There's multiple organizations doing it in the US and then in other countries. So hopefully we'll have a vaccine by 2021 and death and evil can be over. Hey, Lizzie, just joined the live. Hi, Tanisha. How are you? Esmeralda says, I never liked coffee. Jeremiah says you can do Mass at home. No, you have to have a priest to do Mass. You can watch Mass at home, but you can't do Mass at home. Yeah, the virus is confusing people. The experts are experts. But to be fair, it's a new disease, so they're like sharing information as they get it, and they're trying to keep everyone safe. So it's if you're going to like give an expert opinion on how it spreads, it's better to be hyperbolic with it just in case so that people are extra careful. Like one of the things I do if you guys live in an apartment, I never ever touch the door going in and out. So I literally always pick my shirt up like this and I put it on the door, use my phone in public at all, and that helps a lot. So I got water in my phone when I was trying to wash it at first, so now I'm more chill with sanitizing my phone. What do you think about the recent statement that there are more suicides than COVID deaths? Where can you link a source in the chat? That's really, really sad. It's horrific. I know my mental health was really, really affected before I started taking walks. So I have an entire video on my YouTube channel on how to fight depression during COVID. So I'll link it in the chat if any of you are going through suicidal thinking or have depression going on, because I know how you guys feel. I go through it a lot and have horribly throughout my life. I can't find the video. I talked about different things to do during the day to make it better. Yep, tips for fighting and surviving depression.
Look, Limu, someone needs help customizing and saving with Liberty Mutual.
I'm so happy whenever there's ads on my videos. Okay, that's my video talking about depression, which relates to having suicidal thoughts and how we're reacting to the pandemic. Please watch for greater glory. You will love it and learn. Where can you watch? Flaviana gave like a bajillion emojis. What's going on? My question, was it bad to surgery? Does God accept it that I want to get a nose surgery, but I'm nervous that God will judge me for it? So I would talk to your priest or spiritual director about this. For me personally, I would get a nose job if I was really upset about my nose and had a ton of extra cash. People think I have a nose job because of how my nose looks. I've never gotten a nose job. But yeah, I would do like lip injections, plastic surgery if I wanted to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm comfortable with how my face looks, but I'm really against judging women, just in general, judging women. So I think obviously like we should try to love our bodies and accept how God created us to be. But it honestly doesn't make sense to me. Like if I'm allowed to wear fake eyelashes and like change the shape of my eyes with winged liner, how is it that much different from like getting an eye surgery or getting a nose job if you can like contour it into a totally different look? So I just don't see the relevant difference, if that makes sense. But talk to your priest primarily. Like, don't listen to me. I'm a random girl on the internet. Like, talk to your priest. I don't think God will judge you forever, obviously. I'm sure your nose looks fine. I know a lot of girls with a big nose who are beautiful. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, I never noticed people's noses, like, ever. It wasn't until college when one of my friends didn't like her nose that I started looking at noses. But when I talk to someone, I don't look at their nose. I look at their eyes or their mouth when we're communicating. I'm not, like, checking out their nose. Like, who does that? Like, are people attracted to noses sexually? Like, it doesn't make sense. So, yeah, it was odd to me that people cared about that. Rachel says, I super respect your views on plastic surgery. You are so right and about women and femininity. Alexander, noses are so inconsequential. Kurt says, I just look at the whole face. Yeah, I just like, even when like I'm looking profile at someone, I look at like their eyelashes or something. I'm not looking at like the shape of their nose or anything. Okay, we're deleting this comment. Common Sense America says most people don't look at their noses. But if someone has an insecurity, they think like everyone's looking at their insecurity and like obsessed. Harry says noses help you breathe and also keep germs out of the way of mucous membranes. Be kind, you guys. I'm a believer physical traits aren't noticed very much when a person is good. Yeah, people honestly come across as more attractive when you hang out with them more and like their personality, like they literally look different and look more attractive. Especially like facial expressions change people a lot. Like when you're just looking at the mirror, that's not the way people see you. People see you when you're cracking jokes and when you have an empathy face going on and when you're really excited and see your faces in a way that you never see them. Unless you're a YouTuber and edit your face, but still, like my facial expressions in my videos and live streams are completely different than if you were like interacting with me throughout the day. So no one really understands how beautiful they are. Rachel says, weird question, but would you imagine certain songs in relation to certain Bible verses? I mean, a lot of songs are named like after Bible verses. Is that what you mean? Raul says, the world is so far away from God, there is a disordered sexualization of every little thing. Rokio says, plastic surgery in South Korea is super common. Yeah, South Korea is the most like capitalistic. Is it the most capitalistic country in the world? I think it might be. So they're really, really into appearance there and everyone does it. Carla says, hi, Lizzie. I just started watching your YouTube channel. Loving it. I've learned a lot. Thanks. Yay. I'm so happy you found my videos and you made it to a live stream. This is so fun. Harry says, turn the birds. Me says, what if I got plastic surgery to look exactly like Lizzie since I'm such a big fan? That would be really, really creepy. There's actually a girl at my college and people thought that we looked like exactly the same. Google account says, I could not handle being without the Eucharist. Easter was pretty hard. I've been going to Mass since June. Praise be to God. My schizophrenia acted up a lot more when I don't have communion. Yeah, it's amazing how the Eucharist literally has a physical effect on your mental illness. Google account says your Bible studies helped. I'm so happy. Caitlin says, I wish I could get surgery, not on my nose though. Just save up your money. Common Sense America, it's the nose capital of the world. Crossing the Trail says that Singapore is the most capitalistic country I've ever been to. Yeah, I was this morning on a Zoom call with a ton of people from Singapore randomly because my best friend lives there, and he works for a life coach. So there was like a life coach meeting thing. I don't know how to describe it, but there was like a guest speaker, and it really convicted me on my YouTube channel and like how I should use social media more, because they were talking about how in the past, if you wanted to advertise, you had to advertise through TV ads that were like thousands of dollars, and now you can do free advertisement through social media. So I was like, wow, I can promote my brand for free, and I'm not taking advantage of it a lot of the time. Lady Trek, I think if you go to Mass regularly, it shows in your face for sure. Praise Jesus. Raul says, is there still Lizzie merch on the website? My boyfriend promised me he would create merch over the summer, but I then forgot. But eventually we will have even more designs. But if you look underneath every YouTube video, there's a link and it goes to Teespring, which is where the videos are. Jacob says the body of Christ is true food and true medicine. Absolutely. I feel like a direct effect on my depression and mania after I received the Eucharist so many times. Hey, let's not, Jeremiah, don't talk bad about Kanye West. He's literally in a manic episode, so he's really, really, really sick. And I think mocking him is not the way to go. Flaviana says, my question is, does God love us equally? Absolutely. Alexander says, do you know what also has physical effects? Anointing oil, the Exodus effect gives its secret recipe. Kurt says, who else isn't voting Kanye 2020? Fatima says, have you gone to Mass since you are on the East Coast? Yes. Yukmi Rollins says, what about face masks that say Lizzie Sanders? I should sell face masks. I wonder if Teespring is doing face masks. Let me see. Let's see, Teespring. Yeah, there's people on Teespring selling face masks. I don't know if that's, so basically with Teespring, you like upload a design and then you choose like what merch to put it on, if it's like a t-shirt or a hoodie or a phone case. I don't know if you can choose to put it on a mask. If you can, I'm totally gonna do that. Aloha says, hi Lizzie, how do I get saved? I always wanted to get saved, but I don't know how. So in Catholicism, I'm going to send you a video on why faith alone salvation is wrong. It's not about getting to heaven. It's about bringing heaven to earth. It's not about being saved. It's about God working out his salvation.
I've been on Noom for 4 months. I've lost 20.
Anyway, so I'm going to put in the chat my video to watch it. Why don't you DM me on Twitter or Instagram and we can chat more? But I really, really recommend going to a Catholic church, talking on the phone with a priest. So like Google Catholic church closest to you and email them or talk to a priest and be like, I want to become Catholic. Because the number one way to make it to heaven is to be Catholic. If you're really worried about your salvation and want to be in eternity worshiping God, the number one way to do that is to become Catholic and be a practicing Catholic. So attending Mass every week when coronavirus isn't happening and going to confession regularly, participating in the sacraments, that's the number one way to be saved. Although we don't use the language be saved in Catholicism because you're constantly like working out your salvation. It's not like you're saved in a moment, once saved, always saved. You can lose that salvation if you leave your relationship with God. Guys, Taylor Swift is not running for president. Kurt says, you never read my Instagram messages. I reply to so many Instagram messages, you guys. What's actually been getting me to reply to a lot of Instagram messages lately is people will comment on my new posts and be like, here's my username, reply me. And that actually gets me to reply people. What are you drinking, Lizzie? I was just drinking LaCroix. I always get different flavors. This flavor is Pample Mousse. I don't understand. What is that, a fruit or something? Okay, Donald Trump is a celebrity. Absolutely. Someone's like, I would never vote for a celebrity, but then like, did you vote for Donald Trump? Someone asked a good question. Where did it go? Where is it? There was a really good question. I don't know what happened to it. Let me see. They basically asked, am I hallucinating? Oh, here we go. Casey says, how do you feel about pro-choicers statistically saving more babies? So I actually did a live debate with, it wasn't live. I did a discussion talking about that, how that when Democrats are in office,
since Roe v. Wade, you can look at the stats. It always goes down when Democrats are in control.
And then I have a graph there. So I recommend watching the video and making up your own decision on how to vote. I think it's really important to watch the video all the way through because we go through all the points, all the statistics, and discuss it and say what is the most just way to vote in this situation. So I think the video might make you more open-minded and wanting to understand the issue more. I'm learning French in quarantine. Rules for retrogrades with Tim Gordon. Yes, be his patron on Patreon. I'm one of his patrons. And David, yes. Nice to see you again. Hi, Wenny. I am studying Russian in quarantine. Do you know about Padre Pio? Yes, he used to play soccer with his guardian angel. Miranda says, Lizzie, I love how often you've been live streaming. It's a wonderful way to have real-time discussions. Thank you for your work you put into what you do. It's appreciated. I love to live stream. It's so fun. Okay, guys, so I'm going to go to sleep. It's way later here than it would normally be. So I love you guys so much. My next video will be me reacting to my old cringy Instagram posts. And then after that, is a video reacting to my old bipolar videos as I was developing bipolar disorder. So make sure to thumbs up the video, like the video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will live stream again really soon. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!